normal 3 warm-up exercises, and then we'll go on and do something maybe a little bit different. Right, so let's start. The normal Tai Chi posture, just turning our waist from side to side and the arms just moving with the waist, moving with the turn of the waist. Good. Okay, then we go up on our toe. So when we're looking to the left, we're on our left toe. When we're looking to the right, on our right toe. Good. Hold the ball. So when I'm looking to my right, I'm on my right heel and my right arm's underneath holding the ball. When I'm on my left, I'm on my left heel and my left arm's underneath holding the ball. Good. Good, okay. So raise our hands to the side, then turn to our left and just let the hands drop down. The right arm will drop down in front of the body. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, we turn to the right. Left hand drops down in front of the body. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Just let the arms drop down. So gravity just kind of like pulls them down. Good. Good. Nice deep breath on the way up. So our expansion of our lungs kind of just brings the arms up. And then when we breathe out, the contraction of our lungs, the arms come down. Good. It's like inflate. So breathe in, deflate as we come down. Breathe in, inflate. Breathe out, deflate and relax. Good. Okay, do a couple more. Okay, great. Okay, so we'll do bear scoops honey now. So I'm starting with my right hand, and as if I'm scooping honey. I'm scooping up with that right hand. So, and I turn to my left as I'm scooping across my body, and I raise slightly on my right toe. I think you can hopefully see from the picture. So I'm going the other way. Again, it's the turn of the waist that's driving the movement. And we breathe into the middle here and then out as we scoop. Into the middle, out to scoop. Into the middle. Good. If you get that feeling that we're actually, our hands are stuck in honey, there's a resistance there as we're scooping up the honey. Again, the move comes from the waist, the turn of the waist. Good. Good. Okay, we'll do a couple more. Right, okay, good. Right, the next one, we probably don't think we've done this before actually, but so we'll have the feet just slightly wider than normal, so just slightly wider than shoulder width apart. And we start off in the prayer position, so our hands are in prayer kind of in front of our middle of our chest. And what we're going to do is we're going to like draw a circle with our hands as we kind of like squat down. So it looks like this. And then come up. So I'm drawing a big circle with my hands, and at the same time I'm kind of squatting down. So only go down as far as it's comfortable. Don't go down too far. We're just working within our range of movement, in a comfortable range of movement. We're not trying to push anything, not trying to force a position. It should just be nice and smooth. Good. And we're still trying to keep the tailbone tucked under to protect the lower back. So it's quite a vertical move. So when I come down, I'm coming down pretty much vertically. Then I'm hinging the waist, and I'm coming up vertically and hinging up. Good, just do a couple more. Good, last one. Right, good, well done. Right, we haven't done wind blowing the willows for a few weeks, so we'll do that now. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our left foot forward. We're going to put our weight into our left foot, and we're going to put our arms out. Excuse me. So my left foot's forward, so my left arm's pointing forward, my right arm's pointing back, and my weight's in my left. 60-40, 70-30, something like that, in my left foot. And so I'm kind of, this is my open side here to the right. So I'm now going to turn to the left as I rock back, and so turn to my left, and then I'm going to turn my palms up. The palms are facing up. Okay, so I've rocked back into my right foot, and I'm twisted and turned to my left. And I'm going to come forward again into my left foot, and I'm going to turn to my open side and come forward into that left foot. And when I'm in this forward position, my palms are facing down. So then I rock back into my right foot, turn my waist, turn, look to my left, and as my arms come up, the palms are facing up. And I come forward, let the arms drop down, turn to my right, arms come up with the palms facing down. Rock back, arms drop, turn to my left, arms come up, palms up. Rock forward, arms come down, turn to my right, arms come up, palms facing down. Good. Good. So I'm forward, palms facing down. I turn my waist to the left, arms drop down, keep turning, arms come up, palms up. Weight to in the front, turn to the right, keep turning, arms come up, palms down. Good. Nice and smooth, lovely. Looking good. There's no rush, there's no hurry. It's nice, smooth movements. Good. Good. We'll do one more either side. Good, okay. Right, so we're going to change feet now and do exactly the same on the other side. So my right foot's forward, my right arm is forward, my left arm's back, and my palms are down. And so this time, we're going to turn to the right, turn the waist, keep turning, and the arms come up, palms are up. And transfer the weight to the front, come into the front foot, let the arms drop down, turn the waist to the left, and I'm facing the front, the palms are down. I'm rocking back into my left foot, turning, arms go down, then they come up, palms up. Good. Rock forward into the right foot, front foot, hands come down, turn to my left, keep turning, arms come up, palms down. Good. 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 Okay, we'll do a couple more either side. That's one. Do one more. That's 2. Great, good, well done. There's a real twist there in the waist and the shoulders, which is really gets the knots, unloosens some of the knots, eases some of the knots and tension. Okay, right, so we're going to breathe in, keep breathing in, keep breathing in, and breathing out as the hands come together and come down. Good. Just breathing in, breathing in, breathing in, breathing in, breathing in, breathing in. Breathing out, breathing out, breathing out, breathing out, breathing out. To the bottom here, good. Breathing in. Breathing out, good. Breathing in. Good, breathing in. Good. Breathing in. Good, do a couple more. Do one more. Great, good, lovely. What I thought we'd do now is a series of exercises which are basically designed for each of the joints of the body, and these exercises, or variations on them anyway, originates from a guy called Master Lau, who I've never met, but some of the people I know have met. He's dead now, but he was a dentist by day, so to speak, and a Tai Chi teacher and Tai Chi master for the rest of the time. Apparently he used to get up at 4 or 5 in the morning to train down by the river. He lived relatively close to a river. So he'd be there training for 3 or 4 hours before he went to his day job as a dentist. So a lot of these involve balance because we do a lot on one leg. So if you want to grab hold of anything, then please, to steady yourself, please do. Right, so we're going to start with the toes. So we're going to have our feet in the standard Tai Chi position. You may be able to see I haven't got any shoes or socks on. It may be a little bit easier for me without shoes and socks than for those of you who've got shoes, but don't worry about it. So what we're going to do is just grip with our toes. So you imagine we're in out in the grass or on the beach, and we're just gripping with our toes. So our weight's coming forward slightly as we grip with our toes and then release. So grip, release, grip, release. Good. Grip, release. Okay, a couple more times. Great, okay. The exercise does go on to actually gripping with each toe individually, but we'll leave that for another day. So, that's the toes. So, ankles. We're going to stand on our, balance on our left leg, so right leg in the air, and we're going to trace a circle with our big toe. See if we can make the circle as big as we can. Okay, we go the other way. This is one of the perils of being the teacher. When these sort of exercises, try not to fall over oneself. It doesn't matter if you're losing balance. If you need to put a foot down, that's fine. Right, okay, that's the right ankle. Now the left ankle. So we're balancing on our right foot. We've got our left foot in the air and we're tracing a circle with the big toe. We're going in, well, I'm going clockwise at the minute. Nice and slow, as big a circle as possible. Good, we go the other way. Good. Okay, great. Put the foot down, lovely. So, what we're now going to do is the knee. So, we're going to stand on our left leg. We're going to raise our right leg so our thigh is parallel with the ground. And we're just going to hinge. So, we're just going to let the foot rock backwards and forwards. So, we're like hinging on the knee, at the knee. Just try and keep everything relaxed. Try and keep the leg that we're lifting, try and keep that relaxed, and the ankle relaxed as well. Great, okay. So we put the right leg down, do the left leg, so we're lifting the left leg, thigh parallel with the floor, and then we're just rocking or hinging at the knee as the foot rocks backwards and forwards. Okay, good. So we're going to go to the right knee again. So we're going to, on the left leg. And what we're just going to do, just do very, 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 very small circles with our toe. So nothing too big, just really small. The knee doesn't like to move laterally, so we're not forcing it. We're just putting a little bit of movement in the knee joint, lateral movement in the knee joint. It's only tiny. Please don't try and do too big circles. Right, I'm now going the other way, just tiny little circles. Okay, right. Back to the left knee, so I'm balancing my right leg. I'm drawing little circles with my big toe. Getting a little bit of lateral movement, just a tiny bit of lateral movement in the knee joint. Good. You go back the other way. Keep the ankle relaxed. Good. Put the foot down. Lovely. Right. So the hips. What we're going to do is we'll start with the right hip. So you lift our right leg up and we're going to circle the knee. So you can see I'm drawing a circle with the knee, and by doing that I'm kind of opening up the hip joint. This is probably, in terms of balance, this is probably the most difficult one. So don't worry too much about falling over this one. It's easier with smaller circles, but just push it and see what happens if the circles get a little bit bigger. If anything's pulling, or the hip joint is pulling or painful, stop, please. Good. We go back the other way. Good. Okay, right. So that was the right hip. Now do the same on the left hip. We're drawing a big circle with our knee while we're balancing on our right leg. Okay, good. Go the other way. Good, and the bigger the movement, the more challenging it is in terms of keeping balance. Good. Right, good, well done. It's always a relief when I finish that exercise and I haven't fallen over, so. Right, okay, so we're now going to stay with the hips. And we're just going to do sort of hip circling. We'll go clockwise to start with. And while we're doing this, we just put our hands like this on a dantian, which is a couple of inches below the navel. Apparently, men tend to have their right hand on top of their left hand, and women tend to have their left hand on top of their right hand. I don't think it matters particularly, but that's the kind of like the accepted Tai Chi wisdom. Okay, it's nice and smooth again. We're not rushing it. We're just feeling our way round in those circles. We're very aware of the feelings in our hips as we're doing this. Good. Okay, we'll go back the other way. So now I'm going anti-clockwise. Make the circles a little bit larger. Changing the weight on our feet. We're going from side to side and backwards and forwards. We can feel the way the weight's changing on our feet. Good. Okay, great. What we're going to now do now, still with our hands on our dantian here, we're going to trace a figure of 8. So what I suggest is we kind of start off aiming for the right hand front corner. So imagine where our elbow is going forward and diagonally to the right, and then we start the figure of 8. So it's sometimes difficult to get the feel for this, and sometimes it's helpful concentrating on our elbows, and our elbows are like drawing two circles either side of our body. So if that helps, then we can use that as a kind of a visualization. Again, nice and smooth, not rushing anything. Good. And turn the other way, go the other way. And feel the movement, feel what's happening with the hips. Put our awareness in the hips. Good. Great, good. Okay, do just a couple more. Okay, lovely. Well, that's the hips. We'll move up now to the elbows. And what we're going to do is we're going to hold our right elbow in our left hand. So like that. And so our left hand is providing the stability, excuse me, for the elbow in the right hand. What I'm going to do is loosely holding that right elbow in my left hand, I'm just going to draw a circle with my open hand. If you want to make it a little bit easier to visualize, just put an index finger up rather than the whole hand and just draw a circle with the index finger. Good. Okay, we'll go back the other way. So I'm now going clockwise. Good. Okay, do the same with the left elbow. So I'm holding my left elbow in my right hand, and my right hand is holding the elbow loosely in position, and then I'm drawing a circle with my open hand or an index finger. So I'm getting a little bit of movement in the elbow. Good. Go the other way. Good. Okay, well done. So now what we're going to do, and this is really a combination of elbow and shoulders. What we're going to do is if we start with a position like this with our hands in front of us, palms facing inwards, and all I'm going to do is very gently extend my hands with my palms down. Like that. I'm going to bring them in and then push them out. Bring them in, push them out. Bring them in, push them out. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to extend with the palms down. I'm going to come back and I'm going to extend with the palms up. Bring them back, extend with the palms down, bring them back, extend with the palms up. Good. Bring them back, extend with the palms down, bring them back, palms up. So it's alternating palms up and down as my hands come back. Good. 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 Okay, do a couple more. Great, good. So the next one is designed for the wrists, the elbows and the shoulders. So what we're going to do is we're going to extend our arms and then we're just going to move at the wrist. You can see I'm just kind of rolling my wrists very gently. So I'm just rolling my wrists. So when I'm ready, I'm going to then move up the arm and I'm going to be moving my elbows as well as my wrists. And then I'm going to be moving all three, so I'm moving my shoulders. So I've got my shoulders coming up and over, my elbows and my wrists. Okay, so I'm working all three now. So now I'm stopping my shoulders and I'm just doing my elbows and my wrists. And now I'm stopping my elbows and I'm just doing my wrists. Okay, good. So I'm just doing my wrists. I'm going to do involve my elbows now. Good. And now I'm going to involve my shoulders. All three. Good. Good. Right, I'm going to leave my shoulders out and just do my elbows and my wrists. Good. I'm going to leave my elbows out and just do my wrists. Good. Well done. Okay, if you just sort of shake out a little bit. Just loosen up, lovely. What we're going to do now is work on the wrists. And I know that some of us have a few sort of challenges with wrists. So just take it steady and don't do it too vigorously if it hurts. Just do very, very slowly. So we're going to hold our right wrist between our left thumb and four fingers. So I've got my left thumb pretty much on my right pulse, or pretty close to my right pulse. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my left hand to rotate and throw around, almost literally, my right hand. So I'm letting my right hand and wrist go all floppy, and I'm using my left hand to kind of move it around, to kind of throw it around. But just be really careful. If this is hurting, then stop. You can do this quite vigorously if we want, or it's probably only do it vigorously if you're totally confident that the wrist is comfortable and can handle being thrown around a bit. So it's really getting the full range of movement that's possible that's comfortably possible in the wrist, getting that full range of movement by throwing it around with the left hand. Good. As I say, just work with what's the comfortable range of movement. Don't push it beyond that. Okay, great, good. So we're now going to do the left hand. So I'm holding my left hand at the wrist in my right hand between my right thumb and my right forefingers, my right thumb just about on the pulse of the left hand. And then again, I'm going to let the left hand go floppy, and I'm using my right hand to kind of throw the left hand around into its kind of full range of movement, backwards and forwards, side to side, up and down, round and round. Good. Particularly helpful when we've been spending a lot of time on computers or mobile phones. Great, okay, good, well done. So what we're now going to do is we're going to just put our hands out, and it's as if we're like playing the piano. So we're just moving our fingers up and down as we go from side to side, as if we're playing the piano. Good. Okay, and if we'll feel this not only in the fingers, but in the backs of the hands and into the wrists as well. Great, okay, good. And now we're going to have a loose fist, or loose fists, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to flick all our fingers together into an open hand. Good. Great. Okay, lovely. Right. There are some really kind of interesting ones. We'll do a couple involving the kind of the head. So what we're going to do is we're going to just very gently cup our ears with our hands, with the palms of our hands. Just very gently, and just squeeze very gently, and then just bring the hands, pull the hands off quickly. Good. Okay, do a couple more. All right, good. There's a whole range, there's a whole number of these. I'm just selecting a few for today. So the next one is very gently, with our lightly clenched fist, just tapping ourselves on the head. Just very, very gently all over. Okay, good. Right, lovely. We'll do one more, and that's we're going to hold our ears, our earlobes, between our thumbs and our forefinger, and we're just going to trace down. We're just going to slide our fingers down into our fleshy bit of the earlobe at the bottom, and just pull it a little bit, and then let go. Then we go back to the top. Slide our fingers down, finger and thumb down, come to the fleshy bit of the earlobe, pull down a little bit, and then let go. And then start again from the top. Apparently there's a Chinese saying which goes something like, long ears, long life. So I don't know whether that's got something to do with this exercise, people trying to pull their earlobes down to make their ears longer. But apparently I was hearing the other day, there's a huge number of energy meridians going through this part, the ear, and particularly around the outside and down into the earlobe. Good. Okay, do one more. Great, good. Well, that's something a little bit different from Master Lau. And just to kind of like, give a little bit of another kind of illustration of how wide sort of Tai Chi can be. So if we just do the closing exercise for the first section, the Qigong, which is recall breathing in. So the hands come up over, it's called heaven and earth, then breathing down the middle. Good. Breathing in, sides, up, down the middle. Good. Breathing up at the sides. Good. Good. Okay, do one more. Great, good, okay. Well, I think what we can recall from last week, we looked at 4 elements and each of us chose 2 elements to move or to visualize when we were moving with waving hands in clouds. So that's this exercise here. As we go backwards and forwards, turn our waist. When we get as far as we can on one side, change our hands over, and then we turn in the direction of the upper arm. So we've got as far as we can go, comfortably go, then we change our hands over, And then we turn our waist back the other way in the direction of the upper arm. As far as we can go, change the hands, turn back in the direction of the upper elbow. Okay, so that's waving hands in clouds. And each of us last week took two. You recall that the four elements we were working with were earth, water, fire and wind. And we all took two and did that waving hands in clouds movement, visualizing two of those elements. What I'd like us to do now for a few minutes, is to do the same thing, but with the other two elements. So if, for example, last week I took water and fire, so this week I'll take earth and wind. Okay? So with the waving hands in clouds, the stance is more kind of riding horse stance, which is kind of a wider stance, as if we're kind of riding a horse. So I just invite us to get into the waving hands in clouds position, shut our eyes, and just visualize the two elements that we didn't use last week. And we'll just spend a few minutes doing this. Okay, when we're ready, off we go. If we haven't done the second element, let's start that now. Great, well done. Good. When I was doing mine, I was just wondering if anybody who was watching would actually be able to tell just by watching my movement that I'd changed from, in my case, from earth to wind. And I'd like to think they could. It certainly felt very, very different. Internally, it felt very, very different. And I just wonder whether externally people would have noticed that it was different. The quality of the movement is different. And this is the whole, kind of in a sense, essence of Tai Chi. It's the feeling of the movement, it's the quality. I don't mean quality being good quality, not so good quality. I mean the experience of the movement is different, different textures of experience, of internal experience. And that's kind of why Tai Chi is referred to as an internal martial art. It's experiencing all these things internally, which then express themselves externally in the movement, in the shape and the power of the movement. Right, okay. So welcome back, Helen. Hopefully you had a successful trip. Good. Right, so we've just got a couple of minutes. We'll just go through the form and we'll just add one move on to where we got to last week. I'll stay facing you if that's all right. If that doesn't work for you, if you just let me know for next week and I'll do it with my back to you. So we're going to start in the standard position, with our feet in a V shape with the heels together, feet sort of splayed out in a V. It's called eagle. Excuse me. And then the first thing we do is we transfer our weight into our right foot and then straighten our left foot out, rock into the left foot and then straighten the right foot out just by turning on the heel. So that's the feet. Then we just breathe in as the arms come up, nice and smooth. Breathe out as the arms go down. We hold a ball with the right hand on top. So it's right hand on top. And then we look to our right and turn our waist to the right. So we turn on the heel to do that. And then we're going to just step forward with our left foot. And then we're still facing to our right. And then we then turn to the front. And the hands just slide over each other. The one at the bottom comes up. So my left hand comes up like this, which is the ward-off position. Good, well done everybody. And then I'm going to do that exactly that same ward-off movement to my right hand side. So I come forward a little bit into my left foot, transfer my weight into my left foot, and I just turn to my right. And I turn on my right toe, and then I step out with my right foot, and the hands slide over each other again. So my right hand's up here, warding off. Good. And my left hand this time, rather than going down to my pocket, just stays just underneath my right hand. My right hand palm is facing towards me, and my left palm is facing away. Okay, so what I do then is, as we did last week, I turn my waist to the left and the hand just drops down. Just let the hand drop down. And then I turn my waist to the right towards the right hand, and then the left hand comes up and over, and the heels of the hand touch and there's a slight press. Good. And after that, my hands just separate. And so they're like this. Good. And then I push down, but I don't push down just with my hands. I sink down a little bit with my waist, which brings the hands down. So it's a push down, like a spring, pushing down on a coiled spring. And then I release. and just come up slightly and the hands come up. Good. Excellent. Okay. Let's just do that again. So feet together, heels together in a V shape. Transfer my weight, rock slightly into my right foot, which frees up my left foot. I just move my left foot out so it's now pointing forward. Keep coming into my left foot, freeze my right foot up, turn on my right heel. So my right foot's pointing straight forward. So now my feet are parallel, pointing forward. So I've sorted out my feet. It's now I sort out my arms. So breathe in. See the arms come up. Breathe out as the arms go down. Good. Hold the ball with the right hand on top. Good. Turn to my right. So I'm turning on my right heel. Turn so I'm facing the right. Transfer my weight into my right foot, which then enables me to step forward with my left foot. I'm still facing the right. And I turn to face the front. My hands slide over each other. The top goes down, the bottom one comes up. So my left hand is in this ward-off position. Fantastic, great. And I come forward into my left foot. I turn to my right. So I turn on my right toes to keep balance. And then step out with my right foot. And then as I turn to my left, so I turn to my right, fully, my arms slide over each other. And this time, rather than the left hand going all the way down to my pocket, it just stops underneath my right hand. So the right, that's it, good. So then I turn to my left, let the hand drop down. As I turn to the right, the hand comes up and over. The heels of the hand just touch and squeeze. And the hands separate, palms facing down. I sink down and push down with my hands. Good. Like a compressed spring. And then let the spring release. And I come up with my hands. Good. Okay, great. Okay. We'll do, so that's a new move, well, one in addition to last week anyway. We'll try and do sort of a move a week and work through the form that way. Great, okay, so we'll just finish with the closing exercise, just a lovely, lovely, calming, energy balancing exercise as heaven and earth, which is a normal one. So it's breathing in, breathing out as the hands come right down the front, right down the middle. Great. Great. So this one we go from the upper dantian, which is kind of third eye, middle dantian, which is kind of heart, and then the lower dantian or the main dantian, which is just underneath the navel. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good. Lovely. And we can visualize scooping up coloured lights, coloured energy from the earth, mixing it with the heavens, and then just showering it over us on the way down. If you want to, we can imagine those coloured sparkly lights just kind of like dancing all over our skin. Good. Good, a couple more. Last one. Great. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for joining in the class. Have a great week. Look forward to seeing you next week.